Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Monday evening, so let's begin. First up, 27 new COVID-19 cases. No new deaths reported in New Hampshire. One more person hospitalized. Coronavirus updates in New Hampshire, latest trends and data. There are 7,134 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 5,728,363 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 429 number of deaths in COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 712 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire, and 36 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. And now let's take a look at a current map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are in New Hampshire. Over in Manchester, there are 25 current cases of COVID-19. And this map of New Hampshire is total cases of COVID-19. Manchester, 1888. Let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here. The first chart, new cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations, and in the red are the deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here, current cases. In the purple, total current COVID-19 cases, and in the orange, current hospitalizations. And let's take a look at this chart here, total cases. In the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, total hospitalizations. In the red, deaths, and in the blue, recovered. And now let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases, female and male of cases, and risk information. Now let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, difficult breathing, chills, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. COVID-19 testing issues delay move-in for teen state students. About 1,100 students can't move in yet. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Tyler Dumont.
Get 0% financing for up to 84 months on your new 2020 Chevy Trax at Bentley Chevrolet. Buy a new 2020 Chevy Trax crossover SUV for just $22,883. It's day one of fall classes at Keene State College, but it will still be a near week-long wait to get settled for roughly 1,100 students who opted to return in person this semester. The college says move-ins planned for today and tomorrow have been delayed until this weekend because some students still haven't filed or received back their COVID-19 test results. On its website, the college writing in part, quote, "We regret the stress and disruption caused by this change. We will issue reimbursements for housing and dining for days students are delayed from moving on campus." Under the college's reopening guidelines, all students are required to test negative for COVID-19 within a week before returning to residence halls or in-person classes. Off-campus students are being urged to get tested in the college's Winchester parking lot by Wednesday in order to participate in in-person classes, which are scheduled to begin Monday. Regular, recurring testing is also planned. So now, in order to move in this weekend, we're told those 1,100 students will have to file their negative test results by this Friday. Meanwhile, we are told that there are some students who will move in this Wednesday as originally scheduled. Reporting live in Manchester, Tyler Dumont, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Former Phillips Exeter Academy math teacher accused of sexually assaulting a student. Kamiska charged with aggravated felonious sexual assault. A former Phillips Exeter Phillips Academy math teacher has been arrested and accused of sexually assaulting a student. Exeter police said the former teacher was charged Monday with 3 counts of pattern aggravated felonious sexual assault and 3 counts of misdemeanor sexual assault. The former math teacher is accused of sexually assaulting a student at the boarding school several times from 2013 through 2015 during the student's freshman and sophomore years. Police said Phillips Exeter Academy cooperated fully with the investigation. The former math teacher is being held on a presumptive detention. A bail hearing is scheduled for Thursday morning at Bretton Wood Circuit Court. Landowski announces all 22 New Hampshire Republican Convention delegates vote for Trump. Longtime friend, confident of Trump chairing Granite State delegation. And we have some more information about the Trump rally that is coming to New Hampshire. Trump to hold a rally Friday in Manchester. Campaign confirms. Trump campaign announced rally to be held at Pierre Cahone's hangar. Masks will be required. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Step back in time, high above New Hampshire Lakes region, at Castle in the Clouds. Explore
Commitment 2020 tonight. President Trump is planning to return to New Hampshire for an event at the end of next week. A high-ranking GOP source tells WMUR political reporter John DeStaso the visit will likely be Friday in Manchester, possibly at the airport. That would be the day after he accepts the Republican presidential nomination. The president's planned visit to Portsmouth in July was postponed, citing a tropical storm, but Mr. Trump later told an interviewer it was because of COVID-19. Tonight, the state Democratic Party says New Hampshire voters can see right through the president's broken promises and are tired of the circus. Right now, an executive order by Governor Sununu requires everyone to wear face coverings at scheduled events of 100 people or more. The order specifically includes political events. There is an exemption if attendee groups stay 6 feet apart from each other, but coverings are still mandatory when going in and coming out. We have reached out to the governor's office to verify the order would apply to the president's event.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at that U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Monday evening. And here's a look at that U.S. stock market for all of you for this Monday evening. Good Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. Gold closed in the green and went down. Oil closed in the green and went up. US 10-year closed flat. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the red and went down. S&P 500 hits another record close above 3,400 for the first time as Apple and airline rises. Stocks rose to an all-time high on Monday, lifted by gains in tech and some reopening names as a sediment around the coronavirus pandemic approved. In some major news, Kellyanne Conway to leave White House before 2020 election. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News. Good Morning America.
The White House now, where the president's longest-serving aide, Kellyanne Conway, has announced she'll leave the White House before the election to focus on her family. This all comes on the eve of the Republican convention as the president pushes the FDA to approve new treatments and a vaccine. Senior national correspondent Terry Moran has the latest. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. From the Andrew W. Mellon Auditorium behind me here in Washington, D.C. on Pennsylvania Avenue, many of the events of the Republican convention will be held here. As one of the most successful reality TV stars in American history, President Trump's taking a major role in producing this convention. He'll be speaking every night. His children have major roles, and he's using the powers and the backdrops of the presidency to shape his narrative and sell his brand. Overnight, Kellyanne Conway, one of Donald Trump's longest-serving advisors, announced she's leaving her post at the end of the month, breaking the news to the president in the Oval Office. In a statement, she cited the need to spend more time with her family, writing, "For now and for my beloved children, it will be less drama, more mama." Conway was Trump's campaign manager for the last leg of the 2016 race, becoming the first woman to successfully steer a bid for the White House.
How you doing?
And then senior counselor to the president. But her family has been divided by politics to the point her 15-year-old daughter recently tweeted she would push for emancipation from her parents. Her husband, George, an outspoken critic of the president, has also said he will step back from his role at an anti-Trump group he helped launch. Conway is still slated to speak at the Republican National Convention, which kicks off tonight. Trump promising Americans positivity.
I think the overall is going to be a very positive as opposed to a dark, a very, very positive message, and positive on the economy. We're going to have a great year next year.
The president is clearly eager to put out good news on the fight against the coronavirus, calling a rare Sunday evening press conference to personally announce the FDA's emergency approval expanding the use of blood plasma to treat COVID-19 patients.
This is a powerful therapy that transfuses very, very strong antibodies from the blood of recovered patients to help treat patients battling a current infection.
The method shows some promise, but on the eve of the convention...
Was there pressure on you, Dr. Hahn, to authorize this?
Questions remain about whether President Trump is pushing the agency to move too quickly for his own political purposes. So the Republican convention kicks off tonight, actually in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where delegates are gathering. There'll be a roll call vote to renominate President Trump and Vice President Pence there. But ground zero for this convention, really for the first time in history, is Washington, D.C. and the White House. George?
Right, that acceptance speech from the White House. Okay, Terry, thanks very much. Our coverage of the GOP convention does kick off tonight, 7 Eastern on ABC News Live. I'll be anchoring our primetime network coverage at 10 p.m. all 4 nights.
Well, hey there, G.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for joining us for this evening edition. Have a great rest of your evening. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another broadcast. I'll have news report coming up in a little bit. Good night and bye, everyone.